that tiny dark speck near the center of all that white. That's the calmest place inside the most violent storm on Earth right now. And somehow, that's the part that should scare you most. The thing about a super typhoon's eye is that it doesn't just sit there quietly, it earns its quiet. Everything around it is rotating at speeds that can top 200 miles per hour, and the air itself is being flung outward so fast that nothing can fall into the center. The eye is calm, not because the storm is resting, but because physics has carved a hole. The stronger the storm gets, the cleaner and smaller that hole becomes. When you can see a tight, sharp eye like this one from orbit, forecasters know the storm has reached something close to its peak. Look at how the cloud layers spiral in, toward that center. You can see rings tightening like a coiled spring. That outermost band you see sweeping across the upper right corner of the frame might be 300 miles from the eye. Rain and gusty winds out there, yes, but survivable. Now trace your eye inward toward that dark ring just before the center. That's the eyewall, the most dangerous 30 miles of any tropical cyclone. Inside the eyewall, the air is rising so fast that it punches thunderstorm tops up to about 50,000 feet, higher than most commercial jets ever fly. Up in the top right corner, you can just make out darker patches through the thinner cloud edge. That's open ocean below, and it's a reminder of exactly where Super Typhoon Dolphin sat on August 1st. 20.2 degrees north, 158.3 degrees east, tracked by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center out of Pearl Harbor. That location puts it roughly between the Mariana Islands and Hawaii, churning over warm Pacific water that was almost certainly above 30 degrees Celsius. The fuel a storm like this feeds on. The warmer and deeper that warm layer runs, the harder it is for the typhoon to weaken itself by stirring up cooler water from below. What gets me every time I look at a storm like this from orbit is the proportion. That eye, the calm part, the part you could technically stand in and feel a breeze, is maybe 30 miles wide. The cloud field wrapping around it stretches for hundreds. One system, one moment, and somewhere on Earth, ships were rerouting around it, while someone at a desk in Pearl Harbor was plotting its next 12 hours. What would you do with that data if it were your job to tell people where to go? We'll be back tomorrow with whatever the data surfaces next. Subscribe so you don't have to remember to check.